ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to GameStar TV for the Kanga Esports 1v1 Cup, sponsored by Cougar Official. Paladins is the game, and if you're here, it's because you love the sport. You want to see these guys just go head-to-head and find out who is, in fact, the best fragger, who has got the right, the privilege to be the number one bragger, the best in the OCE region 1v1. My name's Kit Fox. I'm just going to give a quick shout out to the chat. I've got a couple questions coming in saying, is it Androxus the whole way through? It is only to the semi-finals. Once the semi-finals are hit, it will be Androxus, Maeve, and then should there be a tie, it will be Cassie as the third champion in the best of three format. But once again, good evening to Hades. And Hades, you're like Santa Claus here on this Sunday evening. You've got some goodies to give away.
Yep, we're going to be dropping some codes in the Twitch chat right now. The best way of giving it away is to those who can type the fastest. So get your keyboards ready, boot up the game, go to the coupon code section, and hopefully you win this one.
Yep, none of that copy and paste stuff. So ladies and gentlemen, get those lightning hands ready. There it is. Boom, Hades, dropping it in the chat. That is a code for Hades. What is it?
A Founders Pack. So that's a good one. That's like $10, $15, I think. So make sure to type fast if you want that one.
There you go, ladies and gents. Hades in the chat has dropped that code. So thanks to Kanga, thanks to yourself, Hades, Santa Hades, thanks to Cougar as well, thanks to Paladins and Hi-Res for making that available as well. Now, speaking of Hi-Res, Hades, the Expo, how was it? We've never had a chance to actually hear this from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, really, all these live gaming events are just on a whole nother level. If you haven't experienced one, whether it be your favourite game, Counter-Strike, whatever you want, just go to one of these live events. They're honestly on a whole different scale because every single person there cares about the results of the game and they cheer beyond belief. It just is so hyped for every little play.
I can attest to that. I've been there, I've seen it, I've heard it, I've felt it. Not going to lie, it was awesome to be there. So get along to those live events. They really are something. Speaking of live events, IEM Sydney is actually being, I think the tickets are on sale for that one now. So if you were lucky enough to go to the one last year in 2017, you know that this one is just going to be bigger and better. Speaking of IEM, congratulations to Scarlett being the first female StarCraft champion for StarCraft 2 at IEM Pyongyang, beating the Koreans at their home game. But you're here because you like Paladins, and it's DaddyDLS going up against Jeymz in this third round playoff. Oh, Daddy, please.
And I just dropped another Barrick Rare Legendary skin in the chat, so make sure to type that one in. It looks like Gibbo actually got the last one, so congrats to him for being the fastest typer out there who wasn't in a game at the time.
And there we go. So the second one is for the Barrick Legendary. So lots of goodies, lots to get your hands on, ladies and gents. But if you can't get your hands on the codes, get your eyeballs on the game. DaddyDLS versus Jeymz, and having a quick look at the bracket. The winner of this will be going through to the semi-finals. So once we hit there, we're going to throw a few more heroes, a few more champions into the mix. And let's see if you've really got what it takes to be the best fragger, the best DPSer in the OCE region, apart from Kanga, Diggy Dog, the exception, who I think is my personal pick for best DPS in the region. Hades, how about yourself? And you cannot choose yourself.
It's impossible to say because they're totally different skill sets. All the different champions and all the different combinations and situations, even team compared to 1v1. I couldn't say.
Couldn't? Okay, not wanting to put your foot in it. I see how it is. You're a captain of a professional team. You've got a certain decorum to keep up, not wanting to put your name to anything you're not certain to. I see how it is, man. We used to be friends, Hades. That's how it used to be. But here we go. It is going to be DaddyDLS going up against Jeymz. Like we said, semi-final spot on the line. But I'm going to have to put my money behind Daddy here. I know there's a few in the chat that are doing the exact same thing. And we all know that Hades is secretly the best DPS. That's out of Princess Rimu's mouth there. So, Hades, you got yourself a fan.
Cool. Everyone knows that, so we all do that.
Modest too. But I haven't asked you. I mean, if you were in this, where did you think you would place? I mean, you yourself, you're not a DPS player. You're a tank man yourself. We saw what happened to Lizlak, and stranger things have happened.
I'll definitely do pretty well, but I don't think I'd win it.
15
Being
seconds
perfectly
remaining.
honest, I do not think I'd win it. I don't know who would beat me, but I'm pretty
10,
sure at least
9,
there's a lot of
8,
talented people here, and
7,
at least some of them would be able
6,
to take
5,
me out on the Android.
4, 3, 2,
Out on
1.
the Android. But I'll tell you who,
Let
one
the
person who'll be
battle
missing this
begin.
one is Josh Kent. He loves a bit of DPS action. His Androxus has actually graced us the screens a few times in the PGS series. He's Bomb King. Mwah, that is just something special. But here we go. DaddyDLS versus Jeymz. Daddy on blue, Jeymz on red. Already the first shot's being engaged, and the tango is being done by both of these guys. Already Jeymz landing the first one. Now they're trying to close the gap. Daddy Clo
Enemy
with a very quick
first
headshot
blood.
there.
Not prepared for that.
Nah.
It looks like he was trying to third person around the corner there by emoting, and then he just wasn't prepared. He didn't see the dash forward and the instant dive for the first kill.
Well, if the last game is anything to go by, that one went down all the way past the 10-minute mark. 9 versus 9. It was golden point, and in the end, the victor was decided. It was Godtrek. And Bullet, unfortunately fallen just a little bit short. He'll go up against, Godtrek going up against Jaquib. Another remote from Jeymz. He needs to be careful. Remember what happened last time. He members. Oh, he tries to close the gap now. He gets himself turned inside out, and DaddyDLS sits comfortably atop a 2-0 round advantage.
The curse grows.
He's definitely getting off to a good start here, and he was the one who beat Ozrhino, was it? And we saw he played pretty well as well, so he's definitely proven himself already to be one of the top players in this competition.
Just exchanging fire over the balconies yet again. Daddy making Jeymz come to him. So the shots being exchanged, but not really too much coming of it here. DaddyDLS still sitting up on high. Jeymz goes for the lower approach now, just juking it around the statue there. But Daddy needs to close the gap here. He does that. In fact, it's Jeymz who tries to take the fight to his doorstep and regrets it instantaneously. 3-0, DaddyDLS.
That was a good play. He really shouldn't be going. Jeymz shouldn't be going on the low ground unless he's got a plan to flank or use his dashes. If you just go down there and wait, you're at a disadvantage. High ground is always the key. Pretty much every game.
Oh, this is where Jeymz can turn it though, and he does so. Well done. He claws one back, and this is where Godtrek just started to get his momentum flowing as well. And we all know how that game ended. He ended up coming out with a victory, but it's just the start of a monstrous climb here for the Jeymz, as DaddyDLS still sitting with the round advantage. Shout out to DaddyDLS for being a GameStar subscriber as well recently. In fact, so recently, it was about 5 minutes ago, and well, that must be the power it gives you. He gets the frag onto Jeymz. 4-1. Shout out as well to Blank, who has also subscribed into the Twitch chat as well. Thank you so much for supporting GameStar. All that money will go to tournament prizes as well as getting casters to live events. So thank you so much for that. And DaddyDLS, whoop, 5-1 now on the scoreboard. He starts to get that wind in his sails. That ball rolling. And insert pun here about balls rolling. It's 5-1, and he's sitting pretty.
And he's always going back to that same place on his side of the map. He's felt it, and he just likes going.
Oh.
He gets taken down, though. It didn't work for him that time. As soon as I say how he's pulling out a good strategy, he died. So, thanks for proving me wrong.
So Jeymz sitting with the cursor arm. In fact, both are. Oh, DaddyDLS makes short work of him there, finding those headshots. And
He's got
now
the heads will
6-2.
roll legendary, so there was an extra 50% damage on that headshot. You just can't compete. It takes like 2/3 of your health pool away, and he was able to get that finishing shot off.
As we saw there, Jeymz got absolutely deleted. Again, one more headshot will be the death of him here. Ooh, another step straight up into the air. Using his ears, DaddyDLS goes into the 180, and now the reversal coming out here for the first time today in this match. And Daddy counters it to perfection, 7-2. This one could be over pretty quick.
And something to note is the reversal actually won't do any damage if you don't hit it with your bullet or your reversal, because they're both picked the legendary, which doesn't do that. So the key is to not shoot the enemy's reversal with yours.
67 HP, DaddyDLS now forced to take the aerial route, needs to bait out that regeneration before he can even think about an engage here. Does so very well. Now here they go. Oh, big 180 trying to come out here. Lands the reversal square on Jeymz's head. Now they try to take it to
Killing
close
spree.
quarters. It's all gonna be
Enemy
DaddyDLS.
killing spree.
Superb tracking. Did not require the melee. It's 8-2 on the scoreboard.
Might just take this one out with a 10-2 scoreline, and that'll put him in the semi-finals, so he'll be very happy with that if he can just finish this game off.
2 more frags standing between DaddyDLS and victory. Let's have a look over at Jeymz. What can he do? He needs a prayer or something, some kind of divine intervention here. Does have a cursed arm, so maybe that might help. It's not a prayer from God, but hey, it's an ultimate. It's the next best thing in Paladins. 9-2. Needs to pull it out. Needs to pull it out now. Daddy, abiding by those rules, hates no spawn camping, waits for the reset, back into his half of the map. Good sportsmanship.
Oh, he gets headshotted right off the bat.
Oh no! I was going to say that was a massive shot for DaddyDLS with a big
Rampage.
flick there. Finishes it up with the melee. And now emotes for the camera. Putting on a show for us, ladies and gents. But that will be the round. And Daddy finds himself sitting pretty in a spot in the semi-final. Who will be his opponent? Well, only time will tell. In fact, Spin Me Dingle is going to go up against the winner of Godshrek and Jquib, but we're still waiting on the result. In fact, as I'm speaking, it's come through now. Godshrek is going to be the one going up against Spin Me Dingle, and the winner of that game is going to be going up against Daddy in the semi-final. And like we have been mentioning, it's not just going to be Androxus, it's going to be Androxus, Maeve, and then should there be a 1v1 tie, we're going to go over to Cassie, just to shake things up a little bit. I think, you know, certain players might be getting a little bit bored of Androxus, maybe a couple people in the chat, so we'll just shake that little thing up a bit, throw it all out, and see what we can put on a plate for you to view, ladies and gentlemen. But while we wait for the results...
We'll be going to that game of Godshrek versus In Me Dingle. It just
Beautiful.
went through then and they're replying. I think they'll be ready to go fairly soon, so we're good to go.
There we go. So just while we wait for that one to get underway, hey, it's Godshrek and Spin Me Dingle. Now, I haven't heard Spin Me Dingle, but there's a couple people in the chat saying that he's actually quite good. Having a quick look at his games, having a close one up against Marcus, that went all the way 9-10. His next game was against Tumescence, which went 10-7. But word on the street is that he's got some mad flicks about him. So Spin Me Dingle, definitely one to keep your eyes on. But Godshrek, you know what he does in a clutch situation. He comes out on top, behind or not.
Now, I believe Spin Me Dingle is on an ult, and I'm not sure if I'm allowed to leak who it is, but I'll wait for him to message me back, and then I'll leak it if he lets me, so this will be an interesting one. Both very well-known players. Godshrek, I don't know if he knows who he's up against. We'll see if he's playing on his main account, and that'll give us a good show, I think. This will be a good one.
You can't tease chat like that. You just can't do it to us. You just can't do it to us.
I need to confirm it's him first. I'm not even sure myself, but we'll see. I'm waiting for the info to come through.
Yeah, alright. You cover your own ass, and while we do that, we're going to wait for Godshrek and his opponent, Spin Me Dingle, to get into the game. So, ladies and gents, we're going to take a quick 2-minute break while we wait for them to get the lobby underway. But after that, it will be Godshrek and Spin Me Dingle, the winner, going up against DaddyDLS in the semis. We'll see you there right after this.